Finally, we have Impact Wrestling. After a stupid, ridiculous Raw that sucked, then a dismal SmackDown, we get this show, which puts them both to shame. And I know a lot of people say, that was a good show on Raw. Or, didn't you like the Kofi Kingston matches? It's not about if I like the Kofi Kingston matches. It's about all around the shows both sucked. Period. And it's not about Kofi. It's not about anyone there. It's about how badly they're producing the show and how badly they're booking the people there and how badly they're treating them there, because they're making Revival have a fake jockage problem with Icy Hot because of the Usos. Both shows sucked. I'm not blaming the wrestlers. I'm blaming the people who are producing the show and ordering the wrestlers to do those stupid gimmicks. So they both sucked. So we look at here. A damn good show with a very good ending. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. Nope. But it's a damn good show. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Twitch stream. Now, I don't normally do it all the time in the very beginning, but this one I want to do specifically because I want to give credit where credit is due and an update. Credit to Melissa Santos. This time around, with only one small botch where the audio was muted. Her stream was clear, she spoke well, the audio wasn't clipping, and there was no cursor in the screen. She did a great job, and I will give her that. And I'm hoping she keeps doing this going forward. Now, her update about her husband. Now, of course, they did a video of, excuse me, of Brian Cage talking about his condition, not knowing what's going on because he has a lot of inflammation and swelling in his spinal column. He doesn't know until the swelling goes down and the inflammation. They don't know what the problem is. Now, Melissa elaborated on that when she went back to the stream and pretty much said, Brian is doing the best he can to get back. He's doing a lot of rehab to find out what's going on and try to get back to work. The thing that upsets him the most is that he can't hold his 15-month-old daughter. He can't lift her up. Now, I give my thoughts to her and to Brian Cage. I may have my problems when someone does a job improperly, but as I've said in multiple videos before, I don't hate Melissa. As I said before, she's probably the most sweetest person you could probably meet. You would love her as a friend, as a girlfriend, as a wife, and I'm sure Brian loves her because he is married to her. And I give my thoughts and my hopes that Brian will get better and he'll be all right. Because this is recorded previously, so we don't know how bad it is. This could be weeks or months before. So we don't know how long it's been since this happened. I think at least a month or two more. So you guys can leave it below if you know how long it's been since since Rebellion this happened. So it's hard to tell what the situation is. Okay, getting that aside, what do we have in this show? Good show. But there were certain things that were lazy. The first thing was a LAX versus the North with a replacement of Moose. Because Ethan Page fought against Rob Van Dam. Was it a bad match? No. I did enjoy the match. And LAX won. But then you see the situation when it came to the Rascals later in the night having a storyline of them in the back smoking some weed and drinking some liquor, and I didn't care about it. It sucked. Do something different. This is a knockoff of New Day. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. This is a New Day knockoff. The Rascals are a New Day knockoff. So do something different than have them just smoke weed in the back. Do something like you did when they were not just sitting in the back and they were interacting outside of the back. They were in the backstage segments. When they were talking to each other, when they were walking around, they were playing around. That was more interesting than this. This means nothing to me. Seeing them throw up liquor, I don't care. I don't drink, so I don't really care. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink liquor. I don't drink beer. It's just, I don't care about it. Let's move on to Ethan Page versus Rob Van Dam that had Josh Alexander, who already did his match, by Ethan's side, dealing with a Rob Van Dam. Now, I'm not going to say Rob doesn't look good for his age, because he's a bit older than me. He's practically 50, or nearly 50, or 51. I can't remember how old exactly he is. He's either 49 or 50. He still looks good for his age. He's in better shape than me because of my injury, so I commend him. But if you see him in the ring, even though he can still go in the ring, he looks like there's something missing. That spark is not 100% there. Does not mean he can't still go in the ring, because he did a good job. I wasn't 100% opposed to see him continually working in the ring. But there's a spark, a part of the spark of what made Rob Van Dam is not there. It's like half Rob, half somebody else. And I don't know what it is. I could say it's age, or it could be weed, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I just know he's not 100% Rob Van Dam. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad, but it is noticeable. At least to me. Anyone else, you can tell me below. Rob won, but does this mean something for Rob Van Dam? I don't know. How far are they going to go with Rob? What are they going to do with Rob? Is he only going to be there to help get other people over? Is he going after the title? Particularly now that we know that Brian Cage is actually injured, and at this rate, they're going to have him drop the title if he's not well enough to go to Slammiversary. Because there's a couple of months before Slammiversary, and they could keep him off television long enough to reach their accounting if he's healthy. Because if he's not, the next set of tapings is going to have to be about making a tournament to find a new person to go up against him, even though Matthew Eigel is the current person that will be challenging him for that title. Since I'm talking about it, Michael Eigel was I think it's Eigel, was dealing with the exclusive reporter. I keep forgetting his name. I actually don't like him. I don't know what it is. I just don't like him. What is it? I can't remember his name. I'm not even going to care about him. It was about him dealing with Johnny Evil, and Johnny Evil saying, "Oh, you're taking credit for Brian Cage being out, huh? You're going to take credit for Pentagon being out too? Because I wiped them both out." So it sounds like before they're going to have that match, which is Michael Egel, and Brian Cage, you're going to go up against Johnny. Johnny Evil is going up against Michael Eigel. It's pretty much the best thing they can do at this moment. Which I'll have no problem if they can at least build it up. But you got a heel Michael Eigel versus a heel Johnny Evil. In some cases it works, some cases it doesn't. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. Let's move on. Kiera Hogan had an interview with Melissa Santos. Kiera Hogan, is tired. She's done. She's been nice to everybody, trying to make friends. And when Melissa Santos asked her, why didn't you help Rosemary, who I'll talk about in a minute, why didn't you help Rosemary when she was being destroyed by everybody? Being destroyed by the undead... I think the reason I botched about the undead bridesmaids and Su Yung is that this is what I wanted. We need to see a Kiera Hogan turn heel. It's been a long time coming. But now you may have her go up against Jordynne Grace. And Jordynne Grace briefly destroyed, what was her name? Alexana. What is her name? Lexia? I think her name is Alexia, not Alexana. Alexia. She went through her and she destroyed her. And to be honest, she was a bit botchy. Look, I like Jordynne Grace. Damn good looking woman. Very destructive. But I'm not going to lie, she was botchy in this match. Those two did not match well. She still did the job well, but now I'm seeing a Kiera Hogan. Go my light. There goes my light again flickering. You're going to have a possible Kiera Hogan going up against a Jordynne Grace. I'm not too fond of seeing Jordynne Grace destroy her. Or you could have a Kiera Hogan be tempted to the dark side and go to a Su Yung. Now, I'm not suggesting that you see the dark side of a Kiera Hogan working with a Su Yung, but kind of in a sense, it would make some sense. Now, Rosemary had her promo segment, and she pretty much said, I am tired and sick of this. You took something from me, I took something from you, so now we're even. But we need to end this. And I want to teach old Daddy Dearest, you don't mess with me. So it's time to end this. I know what I want now. I want you. A demon collar match. I believe that's what it's called. Yep. A demon collar match. Winner takes all. And what I want is you. So that means you're going to have a Su Yung versus a Rosemary for the last time, where the shadows is going up against the total darkness. The question is going to be, which one's going to win out? This is going to be very interesting, because if Su Yung loses and they claim that she's now going to go with Rosemary, does Rosemary turn Su Yung face? We'll have to stay tuned to find out if she does win. Now, so much was going on here. Alright, the non-title match. I never like these non-title matches. I feel like lazy. It does feel a little lazy. I don't like when they do a title match, but since they're not letting the women who are the undead bridesmaids into like a tournament, which would actually be pretty cool, you're only going to use the women that you're showing. So it is Madison Rayne versus Taya Valkyrie and this was the thing that I was waiting for, that I felt was going to happen. You now, and she's in my face while I fix this thing on my head because it's loose and uncomfortable. You have a Tessa Blanchard who just turned face. Now, I kind of wish they would make it a little more gradual than so quick, because we didn't see her really do some video packages saying, you know what, I'm thinking, I understand. Instead of having a Gail Kim have her turn face, I would like to see a Tessa say it herself, that I really understand what Gail Kim was saying, and now it makes perfect sense. I now understand, I have a better appreciation, and it makes me a better person now. I think that would have been better for her to do a video package and then come out like this, than just come out and just be a face automatically. Now mind you, this is going to be a challenge for her. Now I'm not saying that she isn't friendly and nice and actually kind of cute when she's the way she's talking. I say that this attitude might be her natural, ordinary state. The actual Tessa Blanchard, to a certain extent. I'm not saying that if you don't piss this woman off, that she's going to give you the business. Because when you see her in the ring, that isn't just a persona. That's a little bit of her actual attitude. I've been knowing that for a while. Of course, there's a character, and then there's a person who has to amp the character from their actual state. So when she's aggressive, she amped it to the nth degree when she was being aggressive and being a heel. So this is what you get when she is mean, aggressive, and a heel. But as a face, this is going to be an interesting situation, how she's going to come across. She's not going to come across sweet and innocent. I'm hoping that she still stays a badass. If she doesn't change the formula of being an incredibly aggressive badass heel and then becoming a very aggressive badass face, it could work for her. She has that type of persona. Now, was this match good? Well, here's the problem. Because they were trying to put over Tessa's new persona of being a face, the match itself was lost a little bit in translation. Because even though you got the guys trying their best to put over the story, they were really trying to get Tessa over as a face. So that was a bit of an issue. That's why I wanted a video package of her talking about this. Not just briefly talking after Rebellion, but really do a video package. Keeping her off TV for a couple of weeks and then bringing her in. Then you wouldn't have to do that during a match which was important. And once again, Madison Rayne, and if I'm correct, yes, Madison Rayne wins over Taya by tapping her out. And I think I got that shot. I'm not sure if I do. Okay, now what? You now have Madison Rayne, who now could be going into the main title picture. Now, the only way I could see this really working, for me personally, is for Madison Rayne to turn heel. Really. Because if she takes out Taya and then gets the title, I don't want to see a face Tessa go up against a face Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne needs to turn heel. And I kind of wish, and I know this will not happen, I want to see Josh Matthews turn heel with her and briefly be her manager. I know, guys, you're not going to like that, but think about it for a minute. You got a Madison Rayne heel who is not that great as a heel. Then you got a Josh Matthews who is freaking annoying as a heel. That means he does a good job as a heel. I would love to see that at Slammiversary. That Taya loses the title to Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne gets full of herself because now she's become, six-time champ. And she lets it go to her head. And every time she gets into a ring and a match, she finishes, she goes over to her husband and gives his ass a kiss. And he says, whoa, well, this is different. And she says, you're my man. I can do what I want. I'm the champ. I can do what I want. And I would love to see one moment before Slammiversary, or maybe Bound for Glory for that matter, that she gets the title, she turns heel, and she get Josh Matthews in her corner. I would not mind it. Hell, they can even have a mixed tag with somebody. I don't care if it's got to be a face Johnny Evil and Taya. I wouldn't mind it as long as you got a heel Madison Rayne and a heel Josh Matthews. Let's move on, shall we? 4-way tag. This really didn't fit in the show. This should have been a main event on another show. Because of what happened at the end of the show, this was a good match, but it should not have been there. You got the Deaners. Wait a minute, I got to make sure I got all the teams. You got the Dead Sea Hit Squad versus the Deaners versus the Rascals versus guys from Border City Wrestling. Which one of them was... What was it? One guy was named Banks. I can't remember his first name. The other guy is named Prince, which I can't remember his last name. I think that's correct. I can't remember one guy's first name and one guy's last name. I only remember Banks and I don't remember Prince. Wait a minute. I think he's Aiden Prince. So it's his first name I don't remember, and the other guy's first name I don't remember. There you go. That sucks. Now, was the match good? Yes, it was, but it should not been on this show. You could have left this for the next show and actually made it the main event, because I think it would have made something special, because you could have had this for LAX. LAX needs new challengers because you don't have Moose and you don't have the Killer Cross, who I'll be talking about next. For the subscribers who love Killer Cross, you're going to see how I feel about that. But let's be honest here. This match was good. Excuse me. This match was good. But it should have never been on this show. They should have left it for the next show and made it a fatal 4-way to be the #1 contenders to go to Slammiversary. That would have been something good. Yes, nobody wants to see the Dead Sea Hit Squad. Nobody wants to see the Deaners at too early. No one's going to see the guys from Border City Wrestling. But it would have been at least something for the Rascals. Yes, I know I'm not a Rascals fan because they do suck. But at least because they've been around long enough, this would have legitimized them and give them a win instead of having a loss and then having this stupid segment smoking weed in the back and drinking liquor. In the end, it was the Dead Sea Hit Squad who won, and it was Raiju who won. Who did Raiju win over? I can't remember who the guy that he pinned. No, it was one of the Deaners. But you could have done something. Hell, you could have had even if the Deaners didn't win here or the Rascals, you could have at least done something with Dead Sea Hit Squad where they had to have this challenge towards LAX, because the LAX has no one to go up against. Now, here's the thing that infuriates me, and it's Killer Cross. And I know people are saying, what? Are you serious? Killer Cross, this was a great segment. How Killer Cross was saying, well, the reason I went after Eddie was because he's made an inanimate object his friend, his security blanket, his protection. And many people saying because of this, Eddie Edwards is acting crazy. And they say, well, I don't like. I take offense to that. There's a difference between crazy and genius. And there has to be a fine line known between us. Contact me, Eddie, so we can find out where your line is. He's in my face. Really? Really? Now, I know people say, well, this is his persona. Look, there is a time and place for it. Yeah, he does act like that. But when has Killer Kross had a major storyline? Him. When has he had a chance to get the title? Months ago. What was he doing during that time when he was going up against the title? He was in a tag group. Well, you know what I mean. He was working in a tag team with Moose, doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, he was getting his chance at the title, but it didn't mean anything because it was all about Johnny Impact. I can't stand saying that. And Brian Cage at the time. So he was an afterthought like Moose. So as I said before, what did I say? Look what they're doing. Killer Kross is irrelevant. He's nothing. They stuck him in a corner and he's doing absolutely nothing. And it would have been better, and I say it again, for any subscriber who loves Killer Kross and says I am wrong, explain to me, what is he doing now, working with Eddie Edwards? Where does this lead? Does it lead to a title? No. Does this lead him to doing something special? No. This is a filler feud for him, which means nothing. He could have gone to work with Moose, go up against LAX, their greatest rivals yet. LAX versus Moose and Killer Kross, two of the biggest guys in the company, going up against the two smaller guys who no one's going to expect to survive against. Wouldn't you like to see that at Slammiversary, where they could probably drop the titles to both of them and then have a feud with LAX where it would be interesting seeing how Moose would talk against LAX, Killer Kross would talk against LAX, seeing them trying to go back and forth with Conan. I would love to see Killer Kross talk against Conan. Nope. We get this. I hope you're happy, because I'm not. Now, let me see, anything else I'm forgetting? If I'm getting anything, I'm sorry. Final match of the night. OVE Family Street Fight with OVE, Sammy, Jake, and David Chris, where I think Jake cut his head open, and Mad Dog Fulton versus, let me put it to you like this. The match was great. It's in my face. Scenes of it are going by me right now. I'm letting it just go by. Whatever images I could grab. Now I'm going to take them away. And let's put this in perspective. Was the match great? It damn was. But was this story good? No! Look, if you take away from the story of Richie, it's so angering me that Richard Swann, who should have turned to the dark side, has not turned to the dark side. And it's bad. Mind you, what Tommy Dreamer said during the interview with Melissa Santos and everyone around him was damn good. I loved that he talked about his time at ECW. And he said, I love this because I have people that are the next generation by my side. Latinos are by my side. Black people by my side. Asians by my side. People that I love by my side. People who love this business by my side. We are this business. It was beautifully done. But here's the problem. It's based on a storyline that should not be going on. You should have already had OVE convert Richard Swann over. And that's what's making me angry. He should have converted to a bad guy because this leads nowhere. How far are they going to keep going with this feud, which doesn't make any sense? It's already been finished, and yes, OVE won the match. Yes, they did. But how many times did Rich Swann win against Sami Callihan? 2 times. 2. Already. OVE has never been able to beat LAX in quite a while. They have not any title opportunities. Mad Dog Fulton is not going up against the X Division or the world title because Brian Cage is not there. So where does this lead? Just a loop of a feud that should not exist. Now, taken away from that, where the spots in this match great, damn straight. You got Falaba doing a suicide dive out there. You got Dave Chris, jumping from the top turnbuckle down to everyone. I don't have shots of that. And there was just too many shots to grab. And then you had even Tommy Dreamer doing a helo, not from the top turn rope, but from the ring skirt. And just does a helo on everybody. It's not very good, but it's not the point. Tommy was willing to do it even though the guy is my age. He's 48, nearing 49 now. He's born in 71 like me. He's only a couple of months older than I am. And he's still going in the ring. I commend him. In the end, you got at one point, you got that ladder coming into play. Where you got a super cutter. Then you got Mad Dog Fulton trying to get Falaba, and Falaba doing a Super Samoan drop. Because once Mad Dog Fulton fell down, you got Falaba taking him on the shoulders and landing on his shoulders while he falls back. That was beautiful. And even Falaba taking a nasty bump where Dave Chris jumps off the top turnbuckle, and Falaba has a chair with some barbed wire on it, and he stomps on that damn thing. In the end, OVE won. But it still doesn't do anything for the feud. But I'm going to say this. Yes, the feud sucks. It does. I don't like the feud. But this match more than makes up for it, particularly for the last week. What the WWE gave us on this Raw with this wild card rule. And SmackDown having the wild card rule. And 5 people on the damn show when supposedly the wild card rule is only supposed to be covering 4. You had 5. 5 guys there. Which made no damn sense. These shows suck. But this Impact did not. Yes, there were things I wasn't agreeing with it, but it was damn good. Now you guys tell me how you feel below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!